What's up, guys? I'm back with another movie review. Today I'm here to talk about one from our friends at Scream Factory, Hell Night. So this movie centers on a supposedly haunted house that's kind of the subject of many local legends. It's Pledge Week, and in order to kind of prove themselves to the fraternities and sororities that they're, worthy of joining, a group of young people go in to spend the night inside this haunted house. And, somehow that's going to prove that they're worthy of this social group, I guess. But of course, the people on the outside plan to pull pranks on them and scare them and, try to make it so that they can't make it through the night. Of course, the house ends up being a little more haunted than anybody expects. And the goal here is to survive, until sunrise. Hopefully, if you make it to sunrise, you'll survive, I guess. Anyway, this is an 80s horror movie. It's going to be met with a lot of nostalgia by a lot of people. I personally haven't seen the movie, and since it came out on DVD from Anchor Bay, which has been a long time ago. I think it was in 1999 or 2000 when that DVD came out, and this review is being made in 2018, so that's quite a long time. I don't remember it being the way that it actually is, so I think I also was the victim of nostalgia a little bit. This is not a terrible movie. This is not a terrible horror movie, but it is not a very good one either. There's not very much blood. The kills are not that inventive. They're not that frequent. There's no sleaze. The issue here for me is that it's just ultimately a run-of-the-mill boring movie. I think it was coming off the heels of Halloween, and it was like, oh, we don't need a lot of gore to make the movie work, and I agree with that. This movie, gore would help the movie in its current situation, but you don't need gore to make a horror movie work. But what you do need is great tension, great atmosphere, real scares, and that's what Halloween has that this movie definitely does not have. In addition to that, it refuses to kind of give in to the camp factor, which again would have helped save this movie in my opinion. There's a scene where a couple's getting ready to have sex, and instead the guy jumps up and goes into like a surf position and starts telling this story about surfing. I thought that was really funny. I thought it was colorful, and it helped kind of break up the monotony of the movie. If it had more of that, I think it would work really well. But instead, it tries to be a mostly serious horror movie, and it just doesn't work for me. Again, I know a lot of people, it's sacrilege to say anything, that's not glowing about 80s horror movies. But I have to be honest in these reviews, and to me, Hell Night was a pretty boring movie. Again, not a bad movie, but just not one that I really feel like I ever need to watch again. Linda Blair is fine in it. It does have a few kind of cool moments in it. I love the surfer story. I like the neck break. But, no real blood, no sleaze whatsoever, and just no real colorful, fun stuff. It's just mostly a dull, boring movie that's kind of, just there. The Blu-ray from Scream Factory is a collector's edition. It has a new 4K scan, but unfortunately it's made from an archival print, which is admittedly the best available materials. But at the same time, it just doesn't produce a very impressive image. I think if you showed this to a lot of people, they would assume it was a DVD. But that's going to happen when you have to work off of an archival print instead of the original negatives or the original interpositive, something like that. So this is not an issue of Scream Factory not doing good work. It's just an example of there not being great materials available. So, I mean, it's not very sharp. It's not very, like I said, it looks like a DVD transfer. It does not look like an HD transfer, but that's not the fault of Scream Factory. It's the fault of the materials. And this is the best looking version of the movie that I've seen. It's just not light years better than, the DVD releases. On the extra side, it's got interviews, audio commentary tracks, TV spots, trailers, so it's a pretty loaded edition. I didn't go through the extras because I didn't really enjoy the movie, so I wasn't going to subject myself to the extras. If you're a fan of 80s horror, you're probably going to pick this up anyway, whether you like it or just out of nostalgia. Yeah, but if you're looking for gore or you're looking for the traditional 80s horror experience, I just don't feel like this really offers that. It's a very, slow movie, and ultimately, unless you're just a huge 80s horror fan, I mean like a completionist, that you have to have every one of these movies, or you're just a massive Linda Blair fan, this would not be a high priority for me to recommend. That's my review of Hell Night. If you disagree, that's okay. I don't mind. Just don't take it personally and send me a bunch of hate mail because we don't have the same taste in movies. I do appreciate you watching these videos, whether you agree with me or not. And again, if you like the movie, this is definitely a version you'll want to pick up. I just personally didn't care for it. If you want to read my full write-up of Hell Night, you can check it out at markfusion.com. There's also hundreds of other movie reviews there, mostly horror and cult, but also a wealth of other genres. I'm also on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, and now Letterboxd at Mark Fusion. You can follow me there. Thank you so much for watching these videos. If you do like them, even if you hate my taste, if you just like watching the videos, drop me a sub. I would greatly appreciate it. It's a free, easy, simple, direct way to help me to continue to make content. And, you know, that's something that I want to do, because otherwise, you know, I'm just talking to myself about movies. So again, thank you so much for watching this. I do genuinely appreciate it. Hopefully I'll see you guys soon.